Peace, my lovelies, kings and queens. I'm back. So listen, last week I should have asked, well, last time, whenever it is that you're watching this, I should have actually also said something else to you, which is this. As you begin to uh, forgive, understand, accept yourself exactly who you are, you begin to forgive and accept people for who they actually are. And I saw a post on Facebook, and it was like this meme of this really attractive girl, and she says something to the effect of like, men get good girls and break their hearts, but don't worry, sis, like he about to run into me, and I'm about to be his karma. I'm about to do him dirty. And it made me think, if we were to come together like that as women, we so busy always saying what we don't like about somebody. You know, you may not like the fact that a woman is promiscuous, or that she's rough in whatever way, or that she's like this or she's like that. But understand that you need to respect everyone's energy. Okay, everybody is here for a different thing. Everybody has a different journey. And at the end of the day, if you really have this regard and honor for this higher power, for this limitlessness, for this boundlessness, then at least respect that he knows what he's doing. Alright? Or it knows what it's doing. She, he, whatever it is that you say that you feel most comfortable with. That's the self-creating energy. Like, I think that they got this. So everybody's role comes together to play a part of a bigger role. So if you think about it like that, it may help you to be able to, you know, get past if somebody has done you wrong, or, you know, maybe you have an issue with this or that or the third. I was mostly focusing on situations with women. You know, some women, oh, I'm team wife, or I'm team mistress, or I'm team baby mother, or you shouldn't. Whatever, you know, I just want us to also come together and to just get past all those differences and really be of a benefit to each other, right? I wanted to say that last week and I forgot, so I'm saying it now, or last time. And also, what I should have told you to do, well, I'm glad that I didn't, because now we can do it together. I want everybody to get a blank piece of paper, right? So mine is colorful. And I want you to take the list of words that you wrote last week, the things about yourself that prohibits you from being able to achieve that dream reality, that perfect reality, that ideal reality, dream reality. Well, where? Your dream reality. And it can be an absolute reality, right? So I want you to write those words down on this paper here. And I'm going to do it with you. So it's like we're a group, because we're really together. So remember last time we talked about liar. So I'm putting liar here on this strand. Just gonna rip it, little strands of paper. Liar. I mean, I don't know. I don't think I'm promiscuous. I'm not really promiscuous, but I'm gonna write it because, like I said, I'm not really used to focusing on myself in this arena. When I talk about myself, I talk about myself. In this word, talking about other people. So I'm just gonna write the things that I procrastinator, problem with punctuality, and let's say disorganized. Alright, I got 5. So I'm going to do it with 5. Okay, so we got disorganized. I have a problem with punctuality. I didn't know how to exactly put it into one word. I had a problem with being on time. Still working on that, by the way. Procrastinator. Promiscuous. It's just like, whatever. I'll take it. It's nothing. Liar. Right? Gonna need some time if you got more stuff. Okay. Now, surely, for all of these things that you wrote, you have a reason. Some people call it an excuse. I'll call it a reason. There is a reason. I mean, Clearly, we know that there is a reason. We went through all of the steps. We looked at childhood. We're seeing how these habits, first of all, you got from other people that were in charge of your life at the time. And it just so happens that you're an adult now, but maybe you never came out of those habits, or you live your life in fear of repeating those habits. So you live your life blocked off from certain things so that you, either way, let's live. Let's delve in. So, if you're in a group, it's better. If you're not, it's better. Nothing's better. But, sometimes it's easier for other people that love and know you to kind of... It would be a good idea at this point even to maybe look at your ascendant sign too. Okay? Because that goes into play with this. Okay? So, this week we have some new materials. I also want you to get a bag. Get a pretty bag if you can. You get a plastic bag or something like that if that's all you have. But just get a bag. I made mine pretty, and I'm using this pretty bag. You'll see why in a minute. I even made my little papers pretty, little pink papers. That's cute, right? We're gonna get to that activity, but I just want to make sure you have all your materials on hand. Make sure you have. So if you need to pause and get it, go ahead. Get you a book, your strips of paper with your things that you had on the list, or things that prohibits you, your own doing that prohibits you. And like I said, we know there's a reason because we done went through the train of it. Childhood, adulthood, coincides. We know. Okay? Have our book handy. On my way to the throne, lulu.com. Trusty writing utensil. Journal. Let's go. Accountability. 2 + 2 = 4. Math is universal. That's the name of the... I have really long chapter names sometimes. Okay. I find a lot of times we are afraid to take accountability for our actions. It seems we are fearful that if we take accountability, that somehow relieves the person or other people involved of their part. It's almost a game. Rest assured that taking accountability for your actions or lack thereof will only help to propel you to the place of a higher existence. We all know you cannot correct what you can't or don't acknowledge. But you won't acknowledge what you refuse to see. Things sometimes happen in life that we have no control over. What would life be without these wonders? But trust, if something is happening in your life, you reserve accountability and dominion over the circumstance. If you would only know, because I put believe and I'm working on language, so I'm going to say how I wrote it. If you would only believe, work, and assert yourself. And I've gone to another place, and that would be in the next book, belief. I like to know a thing, right? So the raw truth is this, sister. Something does not become all right or acceptable for the sake of our own justification. To make it plain, if you are a procrastinator, a thief, a cheater, promiscuous, etc., no matter your vice, this is not the time to begin making excuses. Get to the root of why you act out in these ways. You will no doubt have to converse with the men and women that help raise you, and there are things about yourself that are instinctive and you have no clue as to why. And then I tell the story about my auntie and the squirrel. If you didn't hear it before, go ahead, and it's in one of the previous chapters. You should have went through all the chapters though. Okay, so anyway, what I basically talk about is, let me just read it. So one day I'm driving, a squirrel jumps out, I hit him, I kill him. I'm talking to my aunt. I say to my auntie, I feel so bad, I killed the squirrel. She say, fuck squirrels. I say, auntie, why would you say that? She proceeds to tell me the story about when a squirrel came into our apartment and chased us around. I was a baby, but my subconscious remembered. And I always thought that I had seen a little girl being attacked by a squirrel and that my aunt was with me. That's how I always remembered it, but that's not what happened. And it took for my aunt to connect those dots. So that's why it's important for you to speak to the people that were around you when you were a child, because sometimes, especially for for childhood things where our emotions are very connected to it, the perception can be a little off sometimes. And of course, I'm not talking in terms of if you believe somebody abused you or violated you anyway. I'm not talking about like that. Okay? I'm just saying, you know, little things, why things may click in your mind and you really don't know why. Okay? I'm sure there are many things like the thing with my eye. But we have become so used to not talking to one another and not sharing ourselves with one another that we remain stuck. I believe that this is the jewel of this thing. That's how we figure it out. We work together, we learn from each other. This is also a form of taking accountability. Now that you have begun to accept yourself and check yourself and contribute your best foot to a purpose in your personal life, it's time to go out into the community and take account for your place. Now, hold on. We're going to move around a little bit because this is the workshop, okay? So for those of you that do have the book and following along, I'm about to start jumping a little bit so you're not bugging out. It's just what I'm doing. Okay? Because before we go into community, I had to learn this itself. Your relationship with that Most High, with that limitless, with that balance, and the Most High within yourself. Okay, being above pride, being above shame, being above embarrassment, being above envy, being above greed, being above all of those instinctual and very primitive things that keep us kind of bound and keep us very primitive in our movements, instead of being limitless and boundless and growth unrecorded. You know what I mean? So as you begin to take accountability, understand this, like I said in the beginning, you have to get out of this mind state that taking accountability releases accountability from someone else. One thing does not cancel out another. Because you say I was wrong for this, I did not that I was wrong, but I could have behaved in a better way. I could have responded in a better way. I could have taken my time and done this. I could have done that. Next time I'll know to do this. That's taking accountability. This is what I did in the situation that further escalated the derogatory aspects of it, that further escalated the destruction, that further escalated, that got us further away from the solution and more in depth and more engulfed in the problem. Okay? Because as long as it's a part of your life, you do have some form of accountability. People say, what about when horrible things happen in your life? Well, sometimes there's definitely things that happen that are outside of our control, i.e. somebody may have gotten raped or molested or violated, and I always use that because to me, and I'm always so sensitive with that because I've never experienced it, but that's a heavy violation, you know, and I always want to make certain that I never minimize that. All I'm saying to that though is your accountability in that is how you decide to react to it. Will you allow it to have this power and to take over you? Will you allow it to make you devalue yourself physically and become promiscuous, or close off and become emotionally and physically closed off to everyone because you have trust issues? You know, how, or will you gain empowerment from it? Will you form organizations against rape? Will you form neighborhood watches or other women? Was it someone that you knew where you were getting to go out and educate on date rape or the significance of the occurrence of rape or molestation by people that you know? You understand what I'm saying? There's a way. You always have some form of power, no matter what it is. Ever since you weren't a child anymore, that was pretty much the end of you not having power. And even in that, we have power of mind, but it's in you. No matter what happens, you hold accountability for it in some fashion, form, or way. If you didn't hold accountability in the actual thing that happened, you held all the accountability in your reaction or your response to it. Okay? And you can make it what you want it to be. Somebody can mean for something to be horrible for you, but you can make it to what you want it to be. You can respond how you want to respond. You can react. Even if you were at a point where, and hopefully this happens to no one, everyone lives long, beautiful, healthy, wonderful, great, gorgeous, fabulous, fantastic lives. Say you was in a position where someone had a gun to your hand and was going to kill you. Well, you don't have no control over whether or not that person is going to pull that trigger. But are you gonna die on your knees crying? Are you gonna die standing up? Are you gonna die saying your last words? Are you gonna die trying to get to the cell phone to call somebody? Are you gonna fight? Are you gonna that's in you. You can't control nobody else, but that's your accountability. Okay. I spoke a lot about people being open and honest and telling their stories, and this was prior to me. If you have the book, you can read that part for yourself. I'm going to go over it. When I find things that it has become a new spiritual awakening for me, I'll touch on it. I'm going to explain to you where I've gone with it, and then I'm going to go ahead and move on from it. Once again, get us in there for something more intimate, and we can go into more detail. But basically, are you doing what you're supposed to be doing? Is it? Are you living in your truth of self? Right? Are you taking responsibility for everything that you're doing? Because like I said before, heaven and hell, it's not this place where you go after you die. It's a place you wake up to every day. You die every night. You're reborn every morning. What decisions are you making? Are you going to live in heaven or are you going to live in hell? That is your accountability. You can't control anyone. That is your accountability. Okay? No excuses. Right? In the book, I also speak about karma. I'm going to start to like buzz this up a little bit. If you have the book, you can read the book word for word for yourself. I'm not going to read it word for word no more. As I see it, I start to know what Spirit really would like me to say to you. So yeah, like I was saying, karma is real. Okay, and here's the thing about accountability and about the energy that you put out and about the energies that you receive. Here's the thing. Regardless of whether you're conscious of it or not, regardless of whether you're aware of it or not, you are making decisions every day that contribute to your heaven or your hell. You are holding accountability whether you like it or whether you don't, whether you know it or whether you don't. Okay? And much like life's accounts, checking, saving, secured accounts, you can have an overdraft account as well. You just keep pulling from something that you're not putting into. You understand? And when you do that, where you still take from an energy that you're not putting into, now karma comes back around. Okay? If not for anybody else, if not for your children, if not for the world, just for yourself. Set yourself up well. Take accountabilities for your actions. Check yourself. Okay? Yeah, it's good to have somebody around you to nudge you and say, oh, straighten up on your spiritual posture. But what a blessing it is to be able to do it yourself. You know? And over time, when you like I said in the other chapter, when you begin to correct yourself, you began to kind of get it together. You began to live in a more purposeful way because you don't want to keep checking yourself. You don't want to keep saying, oh, I'm late again. Oh, I'm late again. Oh, no, come on now. At some point, it's like, come on, girl. Like, let's go. You know, same thing with your actions and your behavior. So when you get real with yourself and you're checking yourself and you're taking accountability, you know, nobody wants to feel like the blame for something. So you start tightening up. Start watching the way you speak to people. You know, if communication was something on your list, and see, this is something that I don't know. I can't wait to be with some of you guys, man. That's experiencing it here and then to experience it live. It's quite different. That list that you had, that's prohibiting you, making it harder for you to reach the destination that you're trying to go to. Take accountability for those things. Yes, they were learned in this part of your life where you didn't have much control in childhood. But now you've come into adulthood with these things. And now you've spread it at your own. Oh, I didn't know, that's fine, but you still spread it. You're still going to reap the benefits or the consequences for it. So let's get present. Let's get real. Let's take accountability, right? So, my bag. Get your bag out. Open it up. This is my bag of shit. Whatever bag you have in your hand is your bag of shit. Is it a pretty bag? Oftentimes our bag of shit is pretty. Trust up. Acrylic nails all the time, hair done, the best fits, everything. Just full of shit. Ain't got real with nobody. Just full of shit. Blaming everybody else for the situations that you were. Oh, he's a cheater. You picked him. Oh, you knew that. He don't treat me like this. You never required him to. Now you mad at everybody. Take accountability. It's you. It's your life. If you die tomorrow, none of this even exists no more outside of you. That's what my children's father used to tell me. Because he was something. He was abusive, but he would tell me what he was doing. And he would even tell me how frustrated he was at what I was allowing him to do. He would tell me things all the time. Fear. You scared of me. You scared of me. Fear is false evidence appearing real. It's not real. He would tell me, I'm scared. I could bleed just like you. You know? He told me nothing exists outside of yourself. This is an illusion. This is not real. He used to be frustrated with me. Wanted me to really like stand up for my, like why he didn't just stop, right? I don't know. He beats the fuck out of me. But anyway. Shitty bag. And I want you to take everything. Disorganized, it says. I am disorganized because I do not take my time. I do not move with purpose. When I clean up, I just pick up and I just put everything wherever to get it out of the way. And then I have no idea where I put anything. And so now when I go looking for something, I'm tearing up all over again to find it. And it's like I never clean anything. I'm wasting my own time. I'm driving myself crazy. This is nuts. That's why I'm disorganized. So what I need to do is I need to set up some time. Get me some either folders, envelope, file cabinets, whatever it is that works well with my space. And I need to organize my documents so that when I go looking for them, they're right here. Label the folders, label this, label that. Okay, that's one thing. Now, as time goes on a daily basis, what I need to do, or on a weekly basis, what I need to do is sit down and have a schedule, have a calendar. This is what time I need to do this. This is what time I need to do that. Stick to this. Go to bed at this time. No recreational this, no recreational that. Have to handle business. You got to be up early. You got to do this. I wrote all this down. Put my calendar up. Get my things going. That's this organization. So I can now take this organization, because I done wrote it down in my journal. I know what I need to do to get from being disorganized to get to being organized, so I can do what I need to do. So I could take this disorganized and I could put it in my bag of shit. It's my shit. Wow, I know it's mine. I'm working on it. It's my shit. Okay. Pretty bag. It's mine. It's my shit. I'm working on it. See that? Punctuality. Well, once I began to be organized, because this is, a process that I've gone through. Once I began to, I'm going to talk in present tense. Once I began to be organized, well, punctuality really wasn't much of a problem, because the night before I get my stuff together, I know where I'm going. I'm not mixing up appointments no more, because there's a calendar on the wall. I know what I'm doing. I know where I'm going. Everything is very structured. And you know what? I'm very much like a hippie. I don't like structure. Like, I like to just, make it do what it do. That's me. I'm very loose, very free-flowing. But guess what? And I like that. It makes me feel free. It makes me feel good. But guess what? That's not conducive to owning my own business. So that has to go. Bag of shit. Okay? And it goes on and on and on. If you're by yourself, you can look in the mirror and do it. If you're with a group of people, you guys go ahead and do it together. It could be fun. Like I said, get a little glass of wine. I wouldn't suggest more than a glass and a half. Everybody be intoxicated and then start saying shit they don't want to say. People be ready to go home and just go crazy on people that y'all don't rehash old shit, We don't want to do that. We want to keep it positive. We want to keep it solution-based for activity. We want to keep it pretty sober. Your bag of shit. So go ahead and get your bag of shit going. That's your shit. Own your shit. Just we can get to the next place with it. Okay? We gotta figure out how to get to the next place with it. Now, when I was in this stage, I began to take on almost too much accountability, to where I really began to give people fly past me passes, because it was like I was taking so much responsibility for it and really not focused on anyone else, that I really was like, oh no, nothing else about nobody, everything is just me, so you gotta be careful of that. And that's going to bring us to our second part of accountability. You know, I'm actually just going to keep it all in one. I was going to separate it, but I'm not going to do that anymore because I already did a video on a checking account, saving account, secured accounts, and I didn't speak about the overdraft account, but I'll speak about that now. So, as far as accountability is concerned, make sure, you know, I'm not going to drag it. Make sure that when you're accounting, that you don't take on too much. Okay? That's really it. Be real with yourself. Be honest with yourself. Take what's yours, right? Take what's yours, not anyone else's. And we're going to discuss that when I come back in like 2 seconds. For me, it's 2 seconds. I don't know how long it is for you. However long it is, know that I love you. I love doing this with you guys. Reach out to us. Like, subscribe, share, comment. Let us know how this is working for you. I keep saying us because there are other ladies. You guys are going to be seeing them come on and do their own workshops on their own topics. And I know that you guys are going to enjoy it. So I will see you again in a minute. Solution-based proactivity. Love you guys. See you in a minute. Oh, wait. Was there any homework? Let me see. I'm sorry. Oh, there is homework. Okay. Now that you've taken accountability, right? I always suggest that you guys don't use any more than 5 situations, but at least one. I want you to use the most impactful relationships in your life right now, right? And whatever situation you guys are in, if you've had some hard times, you know, some rough road, traveled, what's your accountability in those situations? Okay? And I want you to write it. Okay? Only what you did. Now, for that particular person, and for this, I would say let's not choose any more than 3 people. 1 to 3 people. Okay? If it's your mate, I want you to write down what your ideal mate looks like. This is just for you. This is just for you. If you're around anybody that you think will go back and tell your mate something, you're in the group of people that you should not be in the group of people with. You need to go somewhere else where you are safe to express. Put your ideal mate. If that's the relationship. If it's a relationship with your mother, what's that perfect relationship look like to you? What are the characteristics that they portray? And that perfect. And so for me, I know for a man, I would want his loyalty. I would want his attention. I would want him to be financially secure. I would want him. Okay? Make a list. Your ideal. 3 most important relationships in your life right now. Could be 1, but 3 most important relationships in your life. Not what it is, not what you don't want it to be. It could be exactly what you want. Close your eyes and daydream. Daydream. Okay? Okay. And I'll see you guys in a minute. Solution-based proactivity again. I love you guys.